I cannot, for the life of me, figure out what is so controversial about Elon Musk. But apparently, he is controversial to the point where, so I don't know if you heard, but Elon Musk is supposed to be hosting Saturday Night Live this coming Saturday, May 8th. With its Miley Cyrus that is going to be the musical guest. And some stories are coming out that a few of the cast members on SNL are not happy about this, and some of them might even require a safe space. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Elon Musk, he's the CEO of Tesla, SpaceX. He's one of the wealthiest people in the entire world. He's also... Elon Musk is an interesting character. My theory about Elon Musk is that he is just a Martian trying to go home. That's all I think that he is. But a lot of people don't like him. A lot of the elite don't like him, which is ironic given the fact that Elon Musk is one of the richest people in the world, but he is not considered a part of the elite, and that is one of the reasons why I think he triggers people so much, especially people on the far left. If you're just a typical like Democrat or liberal, if you're just a regular person, Elon Musk probably you probably like Elon Musk. Actually, I think he's pretty funny. He has an odd sense of humor, which I appreciate. And he talks very cryptically sometimes, but he speaks out a lot against sort of the mainstream narrative, and that's why people don't really like him. And to me, he's someone who's pretty apolitical. I don't really know where he falls politically, but again, it's just the fact that he speaks out against sort of that main narrative, and that's why people, I believe, do not like him. But let's talk about what's going on with Saturday Night Live. So it was announced that Elon Musk is going to be hosting Saturday Night Live, and right after it was announced, a few cast members sort of came out on their social media making it clear without actually saying it that they are not super on board with this person being the host. So someone said right after, this is a writer, Andrew Dismukes, I think is his name. So right after it was announced, he said, "The only CEO I want to do a sketch with is Sherry O'Terry," referring to ex-cast member and purposefully sort of aiming at Elon Musk, obviously. So Adie Bryant, she's another SNL cast member and a long-standing regular on the show, recently retweeted a Bernie Sanders tweet which reads, "The 50 wealthiest people in America today own more than half the bottom half of our people." This is also sort of, this was said to be kind of a passive-aggressive thing at Elon. So another one of their criticisms of him is that he's so wealthy, so why don't you give away half of your wealth? That's sort of their take on this. Another cast member, Bowen Yang, responded to a tweet that Elon had. So Elon tweeted this out: "Let's find out just how live Saturday Night Live really is. Devil face." And apparently this was triggering. This was obviously a joke, but not everyone, especially a comedian on a sketch show, found that funny. So he replied with, "What the F does that even mean?" I don't think it means really anything. I think it was just a joke. But anyway, after all this started happening, the New York Post basically came out and said that cast members that don't want to perform with Elon Musk will not have to. So Lorne Michaels, he's the big boss of SNL, says that it is in their policy that they don't have to do anything they're not comfortable with doing, and they don't have to perform with anyone that they don't feel comfortable performing with, which I think is a great policy. You should never have to be forced to perform with someone that you don't want to, or made to do things that you don't feel comfortable to do. It's just the person that we're talking about in this situation. It's not the rule. That's a great rule. It's what is the controversial thing. And keep in mind, this is a comedy show. These are comedians. And the reason that they don't like Elon Musk is because he's kind of counterculture. Let's look on Twitter a little bit more. This is pretty funny. So Elon says, when did he say this? On May 1st, "Throwing out some skit ideas for SNL. What should I do? Irony Man defeats villains using the power of irony." Baby Shark and Shark Tank merge to form Baby Shark Tank. And these are what some of his critics are saying. I'll read you a few of what the critics are saying, and then some people actually had some funny responses to that. So Marianne Williamson, who also ran for public office and was defeated, said, announce that you're giving away half your fortune to help eradicate deep poverty, fight climate change, and promote world peace. Okay, so she is criticizing him because he is very rich. Now, these are also sort of the same people, and A.D. Bryant and those alike, the same people that will support companies like Nike. They'll support people like Bill Gates and Amazon and things like that. They'll support the lockdowns, which actually some of these like huge companies like just quadrupled, tripled. I don't know. Look at the actual numbers. These companies got wildly more successful, where it was the small business that sort of got stomped in this entire lockdown. So that's a little bit ironic. And they'll also support companies like Nike and things like that who speak out for social justice, yet at the same time they run sweatshops. So there's that. And then here's another person. How about a skit where a selfish billionaire has a tantrum and makes a showy to-do about moving his factory to another state, but that new state is so dysfunctional that it has a third world power grid and runs out of electricity to run its factories and cars? That would be hilarious. So she's referring to the fact that Elon Musk moved from California to Texas, and what she doesn't understand, she's obviously poking fun at the Texas wind turbines that stopped working, or the power grid that stopped working or something over the winter. Well, basically a very similar thing happened in California. So we had a ton of power outages over the summers and when we had the wildfires. So we're not doing too great here in California as well. So if you're going to criticize one, criticize the other. And Elon Musk is not the only one that left California. And the reason he left California is because they told him he was going to be able to open his Tesla factory or plant. And the day that he told his employees to come back, that same day, they were like, oh, nope, sorry, you can't. So he was making it impossible for him to open his factory and pay his employees. So he took Tesla, which is the largest electric car manufacturer in the world, also the last car manufacturer in the state of California, moved them to Texas, where he was able to open, and I believe business is doing just fine. And he's not the only company that left. Oracle left, Charles Schwab left, the Daily Wire left, Joe Rogan left. A lot of people left California for the same exact reason. So he's not the only one. But there is a few funny responses. Do a skit about buying SNL and firing the actors that complained about being on with you. Then when they say they'll get to work somewhere else, say you bought that too, then offer to hire them to go to Mars on the outside of the shuttle. Show up for opening monologue, squint uncomfortably, painstakingly, take off your mask, struggle to read the teleprompter for 2 minutes, and then put on a mask and walk off stage to wild applause. Boom, you nailed Joe Biden. Okay, that's pretty funny. But it wasn't even just Elon Musk. And again, I did read that some of the reason why they don't like him is because he spoke out and was criticizing sort of the lockdowns during the whole thing and was saying we should open. He also said he wasn't going to get the vaccine, which if you want to get it, get it. If you don't, don't. That's not any of my business. I could care less. And the irony about them being upset about him speaking out against the lockdowns, again, this is just someone who goes against the mainstream narrative, and that's why they do not like him. But it's ironic, if they are upset about him speaking out against the lockdowns, keep in mind that Saturday Night Live, while New York was locked down, while restaurants were not allowed to open and they were suffering and going under, they found a loophole and were allowed to film with a live audience because they were paying their audience members $150 per audience member, so they could say these were employees and they would be allowed to open. So they were allowed to open because they had the means to be able to pay the audience that was coming in and survive this and sort of get through on a loophole. So it seems a bit hypocritical, if you ask me, if you're someone that was able to go to work on a huge show making, I don't know what they make, You were able to go to work the whole time and stay employed, and you're going to criticize a man who wanted to keep his employees employed so he didn't have to tell them that they didn't have a job, and moved his company so he could stay open and do that. It seems very hypocritical if that is one of the reasons that they don't like him. Even Miley Cyrus got it. So she had a little back and forth with Elon Musk on Twitter, and this is just so ridiculous what people get upset about. Again, like, oh my, come on, people. If Elon Musk is controversial, like, we're in trouble. Anyway, let's see. So after a fan tweeted on Wednesday a photoshopped image of Musk on a wrecking ball and a nod to Cyrus's infamous 2013 music video, the controversial Tesla CEO replied, "Might be something there, haha." The Prisoner singer then chimed in, "Elon Musk, I'm down if you are. Hashtag Miley and Musk to the moon." So they're just having a little back and forth. But some of her fans were not happy about this. One person said, delete your post so fans can pretend we didn't see this. And then someone else said, "Yes, Queen, infiltrate and redistribute that wealth. We love to see it." But people kept telling her to delete the post, and how could you? Hopefully she doesn't care. And my hope with all of this, I'm really hoping that, you know what, on Saturday Night Live, they do a skit and it's making fun of themselves going to safe spaces. I think Adie Bryant should head the skit and make fun of herself going to a safe space when Elon Musk comes in. I think that would be a perfect way to end this whole thing. But it's just so funny because it is our comedians who are supposed to be the counterculture. It's our comedians who are supposed to make fun of both sides and call out truths that we both see in each other. But that Saturday Night Live doesn't do that. They're very one-sided, and I don't know how their ratings are. I tried to find, it seemed like they're declining a little bit, but I couldn't find an exact pattern. But I will say, I don't know anyone that watches Saturday Night Live anymore. I haven't watched it in I don't know how long, and that's one of the reasons why. I love political humor, but it's very one-sided, and it's not even funny anymore. It's just almost mean and bullying to half of America. But again, if they pulled out both sides, made fun of everyone, that's what you're supposed to do as a comedian. You call out those truths, but they don't do that anymore. They are, and anyone that is counterculture, anyone that does question or criticize, like Elon Musk, they automatically don't like. And just because he is a wealthy man, they feel like it is their moral duty to tell him how he should distribute his wealth and spend their money, while they won't say anything about Bill Gates. They won't say anything about Jeff Bezos. They won't say anything about big tech and big media. Nothing about that, because it goes along with their narrative. While we're here, this might seem totally unrelated, but one of my favorite all-time Saturday Night Live performers is Chris Farley, and he had something called the Clown's Prayer that he would carry around, and apparently it was actually in his wallet, and it was in his wallet when he passed away. But this is something he had with him all the time, and every time I think of SNL, I think about this. So I want to read it to you. I think it's pretty cool, and I actually went to clown school, so that's another reason why I like the Clown's Prayer. But it says, "Dear Lord, as I stumble through this life, help me to create more laughter than tears, dispense more happiness than gloom, spread more cheer than despair. Never let me become so indifferent that I will fail to see the wonder in the eyes of a child or the twinkle in the eyes of the aged. Never let me forget that my total effort is to cheer people, make them happy, and forget, at least momentarily, all the unpleasantness in their lives. And, in my final moments, may I hear you whisper, when you made my people smile, you made me smile. Amen." It was just something that I really enjoy and is one of my favorite little things. I go back to that a lot. That's why I wish sometimes comedians would just make fun of everyone equally. I hope you all have a good day. Bye.